Yo, what's good, y'all? It is your boy The Fat Stacks for another financial corner. How y'all doing today? Today was Tuesday, September 14th. You know what I mean? 2 more days and it'll be Nappy Roots Day. Y'all don't know about the Nappy Roots. Oh man. Boys got the keys to the city down there in Kentucky. You know what I mean? But anyways, hopefully everybody's having a good day today. As y'all can see, the market had a down day today. We gonna get right into it because we ain't got much time today. Like I said, I always try to keep the financial corner short and sweet. And if you're looking to get into investments, by all means, ask questions. You know, I'm here for those who are looking to get invested, you know what I mean, or trying to get invested. No, I'm not a financial advisor or financial expert, but I am an investor myself. You know, I have my own personal strategy. Obviously, everybody else will have their own strategy. You know what I mean? Everybody should, before you invest, though, you should have a goal, what you're trying to do. You know, why are you personally trying to invest? Because, you know what I mean? You want to make sure you have things written out, laid out, so what fits for you personally. So, but as you can see, uh major indices was down today. And to me personally, this is going to be the confusing part for even a lot of experts because right now the Fed is, my personal opinion, the Fed is between a rock and a hard place because they have to start somewhere when it comes to tapering. And job numbers have been lackluster to say the least. And with that being said, you know, Powell is waiting to see if the unemployment numbers were going to improve so that they could have started the taper sooner. But it's still possible, you know, whatever the job numbers are whenever they do come out for this month. But last month, I mean, man, it was lagging pretty good. So, and right back real quick. Yep, I was on mute the whole time. Allergies is kicking my butt. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I'm sitting here talking and I'm on mute. Sheesh. Anyways, life of a streamer, right? But with unemployment up still high, products are gonna be up high. Even though jobs are paying more, that doesn't mean your quality of life is going to improve, because housing prices are still high. Rent is going up. Prices of products are going up. And unfortunately, once those prices, see, the thing is, right, with inflation, once you get used to paying a certain price and that's what you're used to, there will be no more below that line. And unfortunately, companies do that regardless, even if things improve. Now, improvement might not be anytime soon because there's still supply issues. And even with the supply issues, meaning not just getting stuff to people, but also getting stuff from off the ports to where they need to be, or getting them from places of origin where they need to be. A lot of the transportation and supply issues still have not been lined out yet. So you're seeing increases in, and of course there's shortages in the chip industry, which we talk about quite a bit. But yeah, prices going up for almost everything. And because you get paid more, it's gonna even out eventually. Unless you're gonna end up working 2 or 3 jobs, or you got a main job and you got a side hustle, whatever the case may be. So, you know what I mean? When I see these jobs talking about paying this much and this much, like, well, if you work 2 of those jobs, well, that might make up for the rent that's about to go up, and the meat prices and food prices that are going up, gas price that's going up depending on what state you're in. Because we all know, if you live in New York, Florida, Texas, California, any of them coastal states, name it. If you are near water, if you live near any kind of Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, or the Gulf of Mexico, take your pick. If you anywhere near there on that outline, you paying an arm and a leg for cost of living. It is what it is. You know what I mean? When you paying for one weather, just one, and you're paying for, comfortability in the state and this and that, you're gonna pay that money. And some prices are gonna go up. So, this whole price hike that these companies are paying, like I said, it's gonna trickle down to the consumer regardless. So that's what I believe. Anyways, talk about oil. As you can see, crude oil rallies above 70. Now, I said this summer that $75 a barrel. It came fairly close. I don't think it got to $75 a barrel, but it did get over 70. I think the highest was like 71 maybe. Not too sure. But I know for a fact that oil has hit over 70. This is the second time, I believe, or maybe the third. But oil hasn't hit $75 a barrel yet. So, and the reason why I mentioned this, because the weather, when it comes to hurricane season, which is usually from February till November, it's hurricane season, I believe. Yeah. There's a chance that these tropical storms or hurricanes can inflict, especially down there by the Gulf of Mexico where all the oil rigs are at, coming up from there in Texas and all that. Because a lot of the oil from the United States, I believe, come from down that end. Texas, Gulf of Mexico, around the area. A lot of the oil for the United States is in that area. So that gets shut down or disrupted any type of way, gas prices gonna shoot up. even more. So I always keep an eye on the energy. And of course, it talks about OPEC. If OPEC is going to increase it. Right here it says U.S. crude oil futures have traded near $70 a barrel for most of this month. The International Energy Agency said on Tuesday the world will have to wait until October for additional supplies as output losses from Hurricane Ida wipe out the increases from OPEC. Global oil demand has been falling since July as rising cases, y'all see it, promptly mobility restrictions in Asia. So with everything that's going on with health wise, because I don't want to say the name to get shadow banned or whatever nonsense be going on, but with that going on and hurricane season, the oil production, the oil demand has dropped, or the world demand has dropped somewhat. So, which means it's going to drive up prices. Now, I believe OPEC's last meeting, they did say they increased output. But if Mother Nature doesn't want to play fair, OPEC will have to increase their output even more if certain areas get hit. Which means when it comes to stocks, you're going to have the energy sector possibly even going up more. Like I said, people were predicting over $100 a barrel, which could send energy stocks shooting up high. I don't see that happening. Not unless Mother Nature decides to have a fury, and we don't want that. We've already had enough trouble as is. But when it comes to stocks in the energy sector definitely has picked up a lot since last year, since March of 2020, when a lot of it, the bottom dropped. I mean, the energy sector has been lagging even before then for at least a decade. But me personally, I'm glad I was able to get in at the bottom, because now if it, if it drops even more, I get, a little bit more, because I'm in Chevron, I'm in Exxon, I'm in Sunoco, and I'm also with the pipeline MMP Magellan pipeline, I believe it is. So I'm with those when it comes to energy. So I pay very close attention when you have Mother Nature coming to disturb certain areas of the United States. And I also pay attention to OPEC and what they say. Now, mind you, it doesn't really matter, because at the price point that I bought these stocks, they were already low. They were decent. So even if it falls behind there, which I don't see that happening, but if it does, I'll just pick up more. That's all that is. So, but let's talk about Wells Fargo real quick. Wells Fargo has been in trouble quite a bit with the SEC. So now, as you see here, civil trial of 3 former Wells Fargo and employees over alleged roles in scandal involving phony accounts kicked off on Monday, a rare public confrontation between the U.S. top banking regulator and former high-level banking executives. The Office of Comptroller Currency is squaring off against executives it says are partly culpable of San Francisco's lending misconduct before the in-house OCC judge in Sioux Falls, Dakota, in a hearing expected for at least 2 weeks. This is the first time Wells Fargo's been in trouble for, I mean, this was beforehand, but it's in trouble again. So, I'm not invested in Wells Fargo. Actually, to be honest with you, I was in JP Morgan, Citibank, and Bank of America. I was in all three in November. And I sold out of all three of them before what they are now. Which I don't regret, because when I got into JP Morgan, it was at $99 a share or $90 a share. Now JP Morgan's $150 something a share. I got into Bank of America when it was 20 something a share. Now it's 40 something a share. I had Citigroup when it was $44 a share, 40 something a share. Now it's 70 something a share, somewhere around there. But now the only finance I have is United Wholesale Mortgage, and I'm looking into get into Bank of Nova Scotia. Yes, I know I probably should have kept one of the three. I was thinking more Citigroup. Thought I've gotten into more Citigroup, but I do regret of getting no. I should have kept one of those three at least. That is one of my regrets of getting out like December when I did. When they were starting to creep up. But I did solidify my other stocks though. So and with Wells Fargo, Elizabeth Warren is calling for the feds to break up Wells Fargo because it's become a repeat offender. If y'all haven't seen these stories yet, I suggest y'all go back, y'all look them up. And if you're invested in Wells Fargo, you know, I know some people, you know, they dig deep when it really comes to some of these stocks. I'm not at Wells Fargo, so, you know what I mean? But, you know, this bank had some issues, but it did make a nice little comeback. It was seeming like it was doing pretty good. And then it's had a few issues here these past few months. So it was one I was gonna do the story on this, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just talk about it today. But yeah, Wells Fargo and their issues. Next, Microsoft. Microsoft is doing a buyback like everybody else. So as y'all can see, Microsoft ended on a positive day. Now, I remember talking about Microsoft. I remember when, is it October? I remember when Microsoft was $133 a share. This is when I didn't buy it because I bought, what did I buy? I bought other stocks. But I wish I would have gotten into Microsoft because now it done took off like a rocket. And I already knew it was going to happen. It and Apple, even though I remember when Apple split, when Apple did their 4-to-1 split, I was like, man, that was a good time to buy Apple. And at one point, Apple was at $119 a share before it was at now. And I kept telling people, if you're going to buy Apple, you better do it now at $119 a share because it's going to go up. Because Apple did have their showcase today. Now, mind you, their super cycle is pretty much already had their super cycle. So this whole little mid-season deal with what they're coming out with, I don't think it's going to bump up their stock much. But Apple is, I mean, Apple is a titan in the space, man. And they're just slowly but surely creeping up. You know? And I have advised people, I say advise, I should say I've given my opinion, not advise, to people that when they were asking me about certain stocks, this and that, I said, make sure you buy Apple when it's 100. It was because there was a time where Apple was going between 119, 120, 125. It was a bounce back and forth a lot. It was going down here and going back up. And then when it finally broke through, it's fallen a little bit here and there. But even with the new products coming out, I don't think the stock didn't shoot off today by any means. So, but still, Apple is definitely one of those growth stocks. If you want to have in the portfolio, if you can get it reasonable. Me, I was already investing in other things other than Apple because I was looking at certain dividend stocks that I wanted first. So Microsoft was definitely a heavy play I could have played when it was $133 a share. And as you can see, Microsoft on Tuesday, its board has authorized a new share buyback program of up to $60 billion, while also raising quarterly dividend by 11%. cents. Dividend by 11%. Sorry. The new dividend of 62 cents per share is an increase of 6 cents over the previous dividend quarter. Microsoft said the share buyback program, which has no expiration date, may be terminated at any time. So, I wonder. So, they do a share buyback. They're not even thinking about doing a split. So, is Microsoft, is that stock gonna hit 4,500 by 2022, end of 2022, 2023? Maybe. I wonder what's the price target, because if they're doing this buyback and the dividend is now 62 cents per share, almost $300 a share, Microsoft has just been killing it. I wonder by 2022, 2023, the stock don't shoot the $400 or $500 a share, somewhere there. Now, mind you, not even the world is back online yet, but Microsoft has been killing it. Surely, slowly but surely, it's been going up. It's been creeping up. It's been creeping up. I mean, it's kind of high to buy that it is now, but man, Microsoft is just one of those growth stocks that you gotta have, like Apple. Like, you don't have to have it. I mean, you know, it was an analysis I remember one time where she particularly said you don't have to have Apple or Microsoft in your folders to actually be successful, to have a successful portfolio. Some people don't have Microsoft or Apple in their portfolio, still successful. But if you can get it reasonable, I mean, it's two titans right there in the technology space. So, and actually, that's all I got for today, man. I just wanted to point out little things here and there. Definitely Microsoft doing their buyback. Wells Fargo in trouble again, and there are talks of the Fed's Elizabeth Warren talking about the Fed should step in and break up Wells Fargo because they're a repeat offender of issues, and of course crude oil possibly shooting up. So, but this is what we hear at the Financial Corner, man. I would like to make sure that you guys, now we don't talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but I try to keep it within a certain time period, because I don't want a lot of things get lost in the sauce. I try to stay between 30 to 45 minutes, unless people are coming in and talking about certain things here and there. But today was a red day for stocks all over the place. So, right now I am personally stacking cash on the sideline, because I am looking to increase my positions right now. I'm looking at two possibilities when it comes to stocks that I want to buy, and one of them is the Bank of Nova Scotia. So that's one definite stock I'm looking at, is the Bank of Nova Scotia. And the second stock I'm looking at is Philip Morris. I already have Altria Group. You know what I mean? A lot of people might think, oh, well, why are you taking a smoking company? Look, listen here. Dividends are dividends to me. Me personally, I am going to build a solid foundation of dividends, of solid companies that give back dividends. And I want to make sure I'm on solid footing that 20, 30 years from now, the company's still going to be around. Now, Philip Morris ain't going nowhere. Fortunately, there will always, and Yada, Altria Group, Philip Morris, let me tell you, I already got Altria Group. Philip Morris, what y'all don't know is, just wait. Whenever the federal government, if the federal government ever legalizes marijuana, it's game on. And the companies that are going to benefit are companies like Altria Group, Philip Morris, A lot of them have already a lot of them are already invested in certain probably cannabis companies, or I know Altria Group is. I know Altria Group is already invested in a cannabis company. But the whole point is medicinal or recreational don't matter. A lot of these companies have their hands in some of these in the cannabis sector already, and they're just waiting to just the lock and key just to just come unglued. You know what I mean? So, but that's it for today. I didn't want to bore y'all too much. I just kind of wanted to get down to the nitty nitty. But yes, definitely Microsoft is making moves. Apple is making moves. The energy sector, it was lagging a little bit. Looks like, it's gonna be making moves. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate everybody that coming through. You know what I mean? That's all we got. If y'all got any questions, hit me up on the socials. I'm always putting up stuff about finances on the socials. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, I'm not an expert. I do research like everybody else. You can find everything you need on the internet per se. You know what I mean? All these experts and analysis, they have, certain programs that can tell them about the market and this and that, and to me, honestly, the market is all about common sense. I will say this all the time. One, learn how to read a balance sheet. It is too easy. Know the difference between income and debt. You should already know that. I mean, simple stuff. It's the same thing applied when you're looking for stocks. If a company has more income than it has debt, if it has a lot of free cash flow, if it's giving its investors dividends, and over the years, over a period of time, you notice there's more income and free cash flow than debt, and the company's been reinvesting and it has, good standing, then obviously it's a solid company, aka Apple. And I'm gonna name obviously the obvious ones that everybody know. You know what I mean? But me personally, I'll give you one. I have AbbVie, I have Pfizer. You know what I'm saying? I have Chevron, I have Exxon, and I've named some of the other stuff before. You know what I mean? But in November, I'm going to unleash to you guys and on my socials all my stocks and what I made so far throughout the year. Now, mind you, I have sold out of some stuff to increase in certain areas that I believe is more effective. So, and like I said, I'm still building my core concrete portfolio of dividend stocks that I want to grow over time. Because before I try to invest in any other stocks, I want to make sure that money keep rolling, rolling, rolling. You know what I mean? So, me personally, I'm looking on the low risk end right now first. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's it for me. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good day. I'll be back tomorrow with probably Mario Kart. Yeah, we'll do some Mario Kart tomorrow. So, yeah, man, y'all keep, like I said, do what's best for you. Do your own strategy. Do your research. Don't listen to some random guy that says this, and that. You know what I mean? What works for you works for you. You know what I mean? If you got to go get a financial advisor or, whatever the case may be, what helps you, but get invested. There is a lot of people say investments are risks. Yes, when you invest, there is a risk, but if you do it right, you will benefit over a period of time. Because I'm telling you, having your money sitting in your bank account. Now, don't get me wrong. I will always say, and I always say this, you need to have money to fall back on for emergency purposes, or if you lose your job or whatever. But you also need to make sure you think about yourself 10, 20, 25 plus years down the road, that when you do decide to quit and you want to relax and be easy, that you ain't got to worry about that change. You ain't got to worry about that money because it's already sitting there for you. The earlier you start, the better off you be. You know what I mean? So this your boy D Fat Stacks for another Financial Corner. Y'all be safe. Y'all be easy. Appreciate y'all.